India has formally unveiled Prahaar, its first comprehensive national counter-terrorism doctrine. The move signals a shift from ad hoc incident-driven responses to a single doctrine-led framework that guides how the state detects threats, prevents attacks, responds to incidents, and helps communities recover. The doctrine reflects India's stated policy of zero tolerance for terrorism in all forms. Why a national doctrine now? For years, counter-terror efforts were spread across agencies and states often reacting after attacks. The threat environment has changed. Encrypted messaging, anonymous funding channels, online radicalization across border networks, drones and cyber tools now shape terror planning. Prahaar is designed to standardize how the system works nationwide, so agencies act on the same playbook. With shared priorities and operating principles, the doctrine has been rolled out by the Ministry of Home Affairs to bring intelligence policing, legal tools, technology, diplomacy and community engagement under one coordinated strategy. What is Prahaar? Prahaar is not a new law or a new force. It is a policy framework that sets who does what, when and how across the full counter-terror cycle: prevention, response, investigation and recovery. The goal is early detection, swift neutralization of threats and first restoration of normal life after incidents, while staying within the rule of law. Prevention comes first. The doctrine prioritizes stopping attacks before they happen. Intelligence collection and real-time sharing are central platforms like the Multi-Agency Center, run under the Intelligence Bureau, are tasked with breaking silos between agencies and states. Law enforcement units are directed to disrupt online propaganda, recruitment pipelines, terror financing and overground workers, networks that provide logistic and shelter. How response operations work? If an attack occurs, Prahaar lays out a layered response. Local police are first responders. State and central forces reinforce based on the scale of the incident. For high-risk situations, elite units like the National Security Guard can be deployed. Investigations are led by specialized agencies such as National Investigation Agency, with an emphasis on building strong cases to secure convictions and deter future plots. Building capacity, the doctrine calls for continuous modernization, new technology, specialized training, standard operating procedures and upgraded infrastructure. Training institutions, state police and central forces are expected to align tactics and share best practices so responses are uniform across the country. Tackling radicalization and root causes. Prahaar goes beyond policing. It promotes counter-radicalization through partnership with educators, community leaders, civil society and religious figures. The policy also points to social vulnerabilities and unemployment, lack of education, marginalization that can make individuals susceptible to extremist narratives and call for targeted prevention efforts. Legal and human rights safeguards. The doctrine explicitly states that counter-terror action must follow due process and respect fundamental rights. Judicial oversight, existing criminal law and anti-terror statutes are positioned as the safeguards against misuse of power. The aim is effective security without eroding civil liberties. Global cooperation, terror networks operate across borders. Prahaar stresses intelligence sharing, extradition, joint investigations, and cooperation in multilateral forums, including efforts at the United Nations to designate terrorist entities and disrupt global financing. Recovery and resilience. After an attack, the doctrine prioritizes rapid restoration of normalcy, coordination between government agencies, medical services, psychological support teams, legal aid, and civil society is meant to rebuild affected communities and reduce the long-term psychological impact of terrorism. What makes Prahaar different? Prahaar frames counter-terrorism as a whole of government and whole of society effort. It integrates cyber and drone threats with traditional security challenges, fixes coordination gaps, and commits to constant adaptation as threats evolve. The real test now lies in implementation. Now, effectively, agencies share intelligence, train together, and act as one system on the ground.